Hello guys, it's Emre from EA Trucking. In today's video, we'll be talking about what to do if there's no loads for your driver. So we're gonna assume that you already have posted on the DAT load board and you're searching for loads over there, for example, for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours in the morning, and you absolutely cannot find anything. There's zero loads matching your search. The first thing you need to do is to widen up your search. So if you're searching for loads within 50 miles around your truck, you might consider widening that up to like 70, 80, 100, maybe 150, depending on your driver needs and preferences. Even if your driver does not want to deadhead that much, when you find a good load that's 100 miles away or 150 miles away and you offer that to him, you explain to him there's nothing else closer to him, he might consider that load, he might even take that load. So that's one option that you can do. If you're looking only for one city as destination and you have 150 miles deadhead around that destination set on your DAT load board search, then you can ask your driver, is that really something that he needs to do right now? Is that something that he cannot reschedule? Does he really have to go straight to his home? Because obviously we don't have anything to offer, and the loads that we might find will not perfectly match what he wants. And on top of that, those loads will not pay good enough anyways. He might say, let's search for something else, to go to a different place. Then you make sure that you get him to a place where you can find load more easily for him if he wants to go home on his next run. Okay, let's say you have a driver in Indianapolis, Indiana. He wants to get to Denver, Colorado area where he lives, but you cannot find anything. Usually there is loads to Denver, Colorado from anywhere, but let's say in this instance there is nothing and it's Thursday. So keep that in mind. It's Thursday. He wants to go home straight away. He wants to be home for weekend and whatnot. So you can't find anything. Your driver does not want to go south, north, or even east to go somewhere else first. Then you have option to do short run first that goes in the direction of his home. So if you only post Indianapolis, Indiana, 100 miles around or 150, same to Denver, Colorado, 100 miles around or 150, then you cannot see anything else besides that. For example, you will not be able to see load that picks up in Indianapolis, Indiana, goes to, for example, St. Louis, Missouri, goes to Wichita, Kansas, goes to somewhere on the route to his home. You will not be able to see that. So next step would be post Indianapolis, Indiana, 150 miles. Then as destination, instead of Denver, Colorado, you can put even Illinois for a shorter run. You can put Missouri, you can put Kansas, you can put even Nebraska, Iowa. That's all on his way. Even sometimes it's gonna be a little bit off course, but that's still good if there's a good load out there that he can do. So it's Thursday, he can pick up load 500, 600 miles, 300 miles, doesn't matter. Pick up Thursday, deliver Friday. Now it's still Friday, he can pick up another load that goes directly to Denver, Colorado, and you're gonna have greater chance to get something like that because you will start looking a day ahead. So Thursday, right after you finish with that load, right after you book that load, you can start looking for tomorrow because you know it's gonna be hard. You have experience now, you've seen that there's nothing that goes to Colorado from Indianapolis area. Now you're gonna know what to expect and start searching for loads ahead. Other things that you can do for your driver in those instances that there's nothing out there for the destination he wants to go to is to start searching on a different load boards. Not different load boards like Truck Stop or something similar, because DAT almost always has all of those loads on it anyways, but instead you can search on, for example, C.H. Robinson load board. You can use Coyote load board, you can use LoadSmart load board, or any broker's load board that might help you. So any big broker load board that might help you. Even smaller brokers, if you have no options, big brokers have nothing, you can start searching on the smaller brokers websites as well to see if there's something else out there, because sometimes, for example, on C.H. Robinson or on Coyote, you will see some loads that are not posted on the DAT yet. So once they have a load on their load board, they do not post it on DAT right away. So first people that are gonna see that load will be people that are searching on their load boards. So you always want to make sure to keep looking at those load boards at the same time as you're looking on the DAT. So for example, you find a load on C.H. Robinson website. You cannot find that load, exact same load from C.H. Robinson posted on the load board, DAT load board, but they're gonna post it in 2, 3, 5, or 10 minutes. Sometimes they post a load on the load board, and then you go to their load board, C.H. Robinson's directly, and they don't even have that load anymore. So it's already gone. Somebody was already there, somebody have seen it before they have posted on the DAT, and it's already gone. So that's another good option to do if there's no other loads and there's no other options. Next thing you can do, if your driver is stubborn and he does not want to do anything different than going home, anything different than his set destination he wants to go to, and let's say it's Thursday, you can offer him, hey, okay, I will start looking for tomorrow, but I will broaden up my search. I will widen my deadhead for tomorrow. For example, today you're looking up to 100 miles or 150 miles deadhead, and he's completely okay with that. But for tomorrow, you post the same city. For example, he's in Indianapolis, Indiana. So for tomorrow, you can post up to, let's say, 400 miles, 350 miles, maybe even more, maybe 450 miles radius, because he has enough time from today until tomorrow to do those deadhead miles and the pickup load tomorrow at any time. So basically, if that load tomorrow is 350 miles away from him, pays good money, he's okay with the load, he can make it even if that pickup time is in the morning, like 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning, he can still make it depending on his HOS, so hours of service. You need to make sure that he can do that, but most of the time he will let you know if he can do it or not. But that's another good way of looking for good paying load that's not close by. But if he's gonna waste today's day anyways, you might be better off getting a load ahead for tomorrow that's 350 miles away, but it's paying good enough money to cover that deadhead and loaded miles as well. I do that most of the time when I have drivers in bad areas. I would not say Indianapolis is a perfect example. A better example would be somewhere in Florida or in Colorado. So if I have a truck in Colorado or Florida, I cannot find anything in 2 or 3 hours in the morning. I suggest my driver to widen up my search to Kansas area, to Nebraska area if he's in Colorado, to see if there is something that pays better, a little bit better than any loads from Colorado do pay. I'll give you an example. If my driver is in Denver, Colorado, and I get him load 400 miles away, for example, in Kansas, that he can load tomorrow and deliver next day after that. So that load, for example, let's say pays $1,500 and has 1,000 miles altogether. So 400 miles empty and 600 miles loaded, $1,500. If I was getting a load from Denver, Colorado, that load, same mileage, would pay me and my driver, it would pay, for example, $1,000, $1,200, $1,300, does not matter. Even if it's the same, exactly same rate, my driver will save a lot of money on fuel, because if he's picking up in Kansas and he's driving empty 400 miles, he's spending less fuel than he would spend if he was loaded in Denver, Colorado, and if he was driving all that mileage being loaded. and you know loads from Colorado are usually heavy, very heavy. If there is any loads, they're gonna be heavy. So it's better to deadhead 400 miles, pick up load for same or a little bit better rate, and possibly lighter load, than it is to pick up right in Colorado and drive all the way out, same mileage, being very heavy and being loaded all those miles. So in conclusion, it all depends upon your driver, what he wants, what option does he have, and what solution you can find. If your driver does not mind waiting for a day or two, you might as well do that. Keep searching exactly what he wants in the radius he wants, but you have to keep in mind that he might be waiting over there for a day, 2 or 3 days maybe, or maybe even more, and he will not eventually find anything or anything that pays good enough. So you always want to keep looking for other options alongside with your driver. Thank you for watching.